Welcome to the Robbins Regional Wrap, your one-stop shop for all your Houston County news. I'm Megan Western. Each week, we're taking you through what's happening in Houston County, Warner Robins, the Robins Air Force Base, and your very own neighborhood. Now this week, as of April the 11th, Perry police had not made an arrest in a quadruple murder. 3 women and 1 toddler were killed inside a mobile home on April the 4th. Perry police and GBI crews spent hours outside the home on Gaines Drive investigating the deaths. GBI autopsies showed 3 died from being stabbed, 1 was suffocated.
There's a lot of evidence that we're having to analyze and filter through. So right now we haven't charged anybody, but we're continuing to take steps to get closer to that.
Meanwhile, a community in mourning is now planning to come together after this unimaginable tragedy.
Right now, we're just trying to come in and to fill in the gaps of what they may need help with, because it's their time now, so we never know when it's going to be our time. So we just want to come together as a community.
The 4 people who died had ties to Marshallville, and now their hometown is rallying to support the grieving families. Carmen Brown spoke with organizers and family members ahead of the upcoming fundraiser.
Marshallville preparing to wrap its arms around a family shattered by violence, and they're asking for your support. This Saturday, volunteers will line Main Street downtown with buckets and sponges, plates of foods, and baked desserts. They're raising funds for the families of 4 Marshallville natives killed last week in Perry.
We're going to have car wash, cars $10, trucks, vans $15. We're going to have fish plates, barbecue plates, cakes, pies, cookies. Anything that you can think of, we will have for sale.
Autopsies revealed 3 of the victims died from stabbing. 1 died of suffocation. The victims spanned 4 generations. 82-year-old Beulah Robinson, her daughter Michelle Joyner, and granddaughter Taquandra Robinson, who was caring for a toddler, 2-year-old Alea.
It's a void in our heart, but we know how pure my aunt was, my cousin was. They were like pure. They love. They give the shirt off your back. They'll give you anything. So that means that they loved us. So we just want to just pray for us.
The family tells me the 4 moved to Perry from Marshallville just over a month ago, but most relatives remain in Macon County. They say they're grateful for the city's support.
It'll be a village-like type of love, like we just come together and gather and just show love, not think about what happened, but bring peace.
Organizers say they're still looking for more volunteers for Saturday. Proceeds will help the family.
We are small, but we are so close-knit, so it kind of hit home when it hit them. We don't know their exact pain, but we feel it. We feel exactly how they can possibly be feeling. So we want to come together.
The fundraiser kicks off Saturday at 9 a.m. In Macon County, Carmen Brown, 13 WMAZ News.
Now, Perry police say they have a person of interest, but like we said, they have not made any arrests. We confirmed this person used to live at the Perry home and had a relationship with one of the victims. And we now know more about a potential merger between Emory and Houston Healthcare Systems. The state attorney general held a public hearing at Central Georgia Technical College to review the proposed merger. Hunter King was there and has more details on what happened.
This public hearing today is all part of a legal process. We heard from 5 speakers, 2 from Emory, 2 from Houston Healthcare, and 1 from the Attorney General's office. Houston Healthcare Board Chair Ivan Allen says their financial situation keeps getting worse. The system's cash reserves have fallen from $170 million a decade ago to just $80 million today.
Like many standalone community hospitals, we have arrived at a point where we must join with a partner in order to retain viability and longevity of this system.
The proposed deal is not a sale, it's what's called a member substitution. Emory would take full control of Houston Healthcare. Their regional hospital president, Heather Dexter, pledged their commitment to Central Georgia and to the system's hospitals in Warner Robins and Perry.
Additionally, for at least the first 7 years of the arrangement, we have committed to keeping both acute care hospitals open and the services there that are currently provided.
Houston Healthcare CEO Charles Briscoe says the merger would preserve local healthcare access.
The transaction will not disrupt Houston Healthcare's operations. Patient care will continue uninterrupted, and our team members are excited about what day one will bring to our community.
ER nurse Erica Fall supported the merger, but not everyone shared that same enthusiasm. Jim Brown raised concerns about potential price increases, and Emory said they will control local prices as they do with their other facilities. But they didn't address how prices may change. Reporting in Houston County, Hunter King, 13 WMAZ News.
Now, the Attorney General must now decide whether to approve the merger. They say it could take several months. If approved, Emory is committed to investing in new technology and maintaining charity care services at Houston Healthcare. Now, when seconds count during a medical emergency, ambulance response times can be a matter of life and death. But in Houston County, there's growing concern as some people say they face alarming ambulance shortages. Houston Healthcare runs the system and says the shortages are part of a nationwide EMS crisis. Hunter King has more on this story we've been following for more than 6 years.
517 should be available here momentarily.
Some people in Houston County have faced a frightening scenario, calling 911 for an ambulance that's delayed or never comes at all.
Do you have another available unit? Just be advised the patient's been lying on the concrete in extreme hip pain at the entrance to the restaurant.
They don't at this time.
Dispatch recordings obtained by our newsroom reveals cases where operators had to tell callers that no ambulances were available. We also found public records that showed dramatic differences in response times during shortages. In a stabbing last week, an ambulance arrived in just under 7 minutes after dispatch. But on the same day, an elderly fall victim waited over an hour and a half for help.
We're seeing short staffing, not only here locally, but across the state and across the nation in the EMS world.
The possible causes: an aging workforce, fewer young people entering the field, and a pandemic burnout. According to the American Ambulance Association, in 2023, turnover reached 36% for EMTs and 27% for paramedics. Houston Healthcare says they're working on the problem.
New ambulances, new patient lift equipment, and other employee enhancements approved by our Board of Trustees.
Their hiring event on Monday attracted 10 candidates. 3 are now undergoing background checks. For now, when all ambulances are busy, Houston Healthcare relies on mutual aid as the county adjusts to growth. But until they can hire more people, that aid might take longer to arrive. In Houston County, Hunter King, 13 WMAZ News.
Now, while the county and Houston Healthcare cover many of the emergent needs, Warner Robins Fire is available to assist. That's why the city spent $47,000 to get firefighters trained and become licensed emergency medical responders. They started training back in February. Fire Chief Albert Wright says a majority of the department's calls are for medical support. Now their team will legally be able to provide you more services than they currently do. While Wright says it won't improve response times, it will make them more efficient overall. And lots of new money for new technology is headed to Warner Robins Police Department. We've told you about their new training center, new officers, and a new technology lab. Now I've got the latest upgrades coming to the department. If someone breaks into your car, police officers may rely on fingerprints to close your case. In Warner Robins, their current print reading system needs an upgrade.
Our ability to investigate and properly manage and bring cases before the court can be slowed down significantly.
But they won't hit that bump in the road because Monday, council leaders poured over $44,000 into their system, keeping their department in connection with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation's nationwide database.
We are officially an international smart city two years in a row now.
Mayor LaRonda Patrick says the city's ultimate goal is to advance their smart policing.
Utilizing technology and advanced technology to make sure our community is safe is worth every dollar.
That's why you'll see projects like their real-time crime lab, connecting cameras citywide for officers to collect information as it comes in. Now this tech lab and their fingerprints can work hand in hand.
When you couple that data that you have from the real-time crime center to fingerprints that are recovered later from a scene, again, you can start putting the pieces of the puzzle greater together for a proper case.
All to help them do their job, bring justice.
And for the peace of the victim, and again, to keep further people from being victimized by that perpetrator that's out there.
And that's not all. A new gadget is on the way to their SWAT division, costing about $16,000. The Throwbot will help officers during events like hostage standoffs.
We always want a peaceful outcome point.
Fisher says the tiny devices give them a better look at what they're up against and could help them minimize chances of harm to a suspect, the public, and officers. Now in the next budget year, which starts in July, Fisher says they hope to upgrade that SWAT team robot again so that they can have two-way communication through the device. And animal shelters across the country are overwhelmed. That includes right here in Central Georgia. Staff at Houston County's Humane Society step up to try their best to take in strays and rescued animals, but legally they can't accept abandoned animals and have to turn them away to animal control. That puts the animal at risk of getting put down. Freya Abrar looks at how rescue organizations are turning to law enforcement for help.
Dogs dumped and cats left without care, overwhelming animal shelters and rescues across the nation, like Houston County's Humane Society. These pictures show a sad recent case where someone abandoned this pregnant dog, leaving her in a crate overnight.
First off, it is against the law to do animal abandonment. If there's animal control in the area, we are not allowed to accept the strays or the abandoned animals.
But it's happening more often than it should, Director D'Allison says, and her shelter's running out of space.
We have to check with them first to get a clearance. There has to be a hold time. But as you see and hear today, we absolutely do not have enough room.
When owners walk away, there are consequences for both the pet and the person.
If the dog would have been left longer and the dog's been locked in a room without food, water, and shelter, and you pick it up and it's been in there without any type of, or it's walking its own feces, which could cause problems to the animal's pads, that could be a cruelty issue.
Prosecute that very heavily. We take it to state court, then they have a record. So when they go to Bibb County or wherever else, we can track them and see, is this a pattern or is this a one-time thing?
According to Houston County Animal Services,
we have the exact same ordinances in all 3 cities and in unincorporated Houston County,
which includes fines of at least $200 at the local level and at least $500 at the state level. But the reality for the animals is worse.
Here we actually euthanized 706 animals last year. Most of them are ones that are sickly when we take in, and if possible, we treat them, get them back to good health. And then that cost is passed on to the offender. Sometimes it's just the humane thing to do is put the animal out of its misery.
Now we're told the best thing that you can do if you want to give up an animal is to call animal control and ask for help. Agencies across the county tell us they'll help you get in touch with the right resources so that your animal can find a proper home. Now, despite the current services available in Warner Robins and Houston County, the Humane Society says you can also support the shelter through donations and volunteering. Preparations are underway in Houston County schools for Purple Up Day. It's the district's way of showing support for students and military families. Naomi Washington takes us inside Lakejoy Elementary, where they have about 60 military brat students.
This Purple Up Day is a bittersweet one for 4th grader Blake Hobbs. He is a military kid getting ready for another big change.
It makes me kind of grateful and happy that they're supporting us and my dad that is getting ready to deploy in October.
Hobbs looks up to his dad who serves and often tells him what kind of mindset they need.
Be strong and brave.
Houston's top teacher, Jade Thomas, is at the center of preparations at Lakejoy Elementary. She is a Marine Corps veteran, and recently the state named her a top 10 finalist for Georgia State Teacher of the Year.
This is right up my alley. I love the Military Kids Club here that I host.
Thomas says military kids bring special qualities to every classroom they walk in.
They are so versatile and they're so resilient, and we have students who've moved around all over the country and even the world, so they bring a special value to the classroom, and they teach others like how to be true to yourself. Don't try to fit in, just always be yourself.
After moving states many times, Hobbs is familiar with the challenges.
It's hard because you gotta learn meet new people.
But Thomas and the district are going all out to recognize them.
I'm gonna make them little treat bags, and I just put some purple flavored snacks and some beads, and I got one of the high school classes to write them letters.
In addition to wearing Purple Friday, they'll start the day with an appreciation breakfast for active duty parents and their kids. In Houston County, Naomi Washington, 13 WMAZ News.
Now, the school district says they'll continue celebrating military kids all month, so the Purple Up festivities aren't the end. And this weekend, the 36th annual Dogwood Festival takes over downtown Perry with 2 days of activities. There will be arts and craft vendors, 13 food trucks, and plenty of family fun in the kids zone with inflatables, a choo-choo train, and a jelly ball. Now, the best part is the live entertainment. For the first time in 4 years, 9 school groups and 8 performers will take the stage.
We have lots of music lined up for the festival for the 2 days. And so if anybody just wants to come out and enjoy the live music, they can bring their chairs and they can spread their chairs and their blankets out on Main Street and be able to enjoy all the live music.
Now you can also take part in a golf cart raffle and you can watch the Masters while you're there. The event is pet friendly. You just need to keep your dog on a leash. And that's a wrap on what's happening throughout the Robbins region this week. If you have a Houston County story you want to share with us, go ahead and email us at news@13wmaz.com and make sure you come back here every Friday to get all of your Houston County news and stories that matter to you. Thanks for joining us.